A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with all of you for this live session on YouTube after a very long time indeed. They say that you should never begin a public talk with an apology, but I'm not doing a public talk. I am talking to our YouTube family, and when you're talking to a family, there's no such rules that exist, anyways. So I want to begin this evening's session by my heartfelt and sincere apology that I haven't been able to spend enough time and come online and do more live sessions with our YouTube community and YouTube family. But hopefully, 2022 will be different, and hopefully we will be able to interact more in terms of live sessions for our YouTube community as well. But I must say that it gives me immense pleasure and joy to be with all of you once again this evening for this live session. I would love to give a couple of shout outs to all of you: Nikhil Tripathi, Pallavi Gaikwad, Frishika with Bipin Kumar, Sukhanand Kumar, Meghna Patki, Riddhi, Rahul Neela, Asmita Kevli. Thank you so much for being with us this evening for this live session. My God, the way these messages are scrolling up, it's so hard for me to even give a call out for all of you here. But let's begin with our discussion for this evening and talk a little bit about reminiscing the year 2021. There was a Japanese man who came to Mumbai and he was staying at the Taj Hotel near Gateway of India in south of Mumbai near Colaba. And after his stay was over, he wanted to now go back to Japan. He had a flight to catch from the Chhatrapati International Airport, Terminal 2 in Mumbai. He had a flight to take to Tokyo. So he decided to take a taxi, the black and yellow taxi, जिसको बम्बई में हम लोग काली पीली taxi बोलते हैं. So this guy decided to take a cab, take a taxi, and he sat in the taxi. And the taxi driver, started driving him from the Taj to the Terminal 2 airport in Mumbai, which is about 28 kilometers, 17, 18 miles. And as they were driving, they were passing through the sea link as well. The Japanese man was looking outside of the window and he saw a Mitsubishi car going by. And he looked at the cab driver and said, "Look, Mitsubishi, our Japanese car, so fast, and your Indian Fiat, so slow." The cab driver kept quiet. After a while, as they were continuing their drive, he saw a Toyota passing by. The Japanese man said, "Look, Toyota, our Japanese car, so fast, and this Fiat, your Indian car, so slow." After a while, as they continued their journey, their drive, he saw a Honda City. He said, "Look, our Japanese car, Honda, so fast, your Indian car, Fiat, so slow." Finally, they reached the airport. And the taxi driver said to the Japanese man, "Sir, 7,000 rupees is your bill." He was shocked. It's just about 17 miles, 28 kilometers. When I came and when I went from the airport to Taj on my arrival, it was about 200 rupees and you're charging me 7,000 rupees. The Indian taxi driver looked at the Japanese man and said, "Look, sir, your Mitsubishi car, very fast. Your Japanese Honda car, very fast. Your Japanese Toyota car, very fast. But our Indian taxi meter, very fast. So please pay me 7,000 rupees." Now, jokes apart, isn't it a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that the distance between the Taj and the airport, about 17, 18 miles, 28 kilometers, was exactly the same for both the taxi driver and the Japanese man? The distance from point A to point B was the same. The time taken to drive from point A to point B, both were in the same car, was exactly the same. But the experience that they had of that entire journey was entirely different. For the Japanese man, he was excited to now come to the airport, take a flight back to Tokyo, go and meet his family members, spend time with his family members, and do whatever he does at home. Whereas for the taxi driver, the experience that was that of stress, Would he get enough passengers through the day? He has to put food on the plates of all of his family members. He probably has to pay for the fees of his kids that week for college and school. So the same distance, the same time taken, but the experience both had was entirely different. Assume you're flying from Mumbai to Delhi. Mumbai to Delhi, flying time about 2.5 hours, and the distance is about 850, 880 miles or so. Now, when you're flying from Mumbai to Delhi, the distance from point A, Mumbai, to point B, Delhi, is exactly the same for all 400 passengers on the flight. If there are 400 passengers on the flight, everybody has covered a distance of 880 miles. Everybody has covered those 880 miles in the same amount of time, 2.5 hours. Everybody has been covering that distance on the same altitude of assuming about 35,000 feet above ground level. Everybody is subjected to the same weather conditions while they are flying, the same kind of turbulence, the same kind of experience. So the distance covered is the same, the time taken is the same, the weather conditions are the same, the altitude at which they are flying is the same. वो सब same है. But there's a difference. Each one of them is having an entirely different experience. हालांकि अंतर वही है, हालांकि फ्लाइट का समय वही है, हालांकि वेदर की कंडीशंस वही है, लेकिन उस हवाई जहाज में बैठे हर एक शख्स का जो अनुभव है, जो एक्सपीरियंस है, वो अलग अलग है. Someone sitting in the flight is excited because they're going for a holiday and they're looking forward to the holiday. Another person, another passenger sitting in the plane is probably going to see his dying mother who is in the ICU and is preparing himself or herself to face that situation. Somebody else has had a heartbreak and is going to meet his family to just feel some solace from them. Somebody else is going for a work meeting. Somebody else is going for some other purpose. So although the distance covered is the same, the time taken is the same, the altitude at which the flight is the same, the weather conditions are the same, the experience that every individual has in the flight is entirely different. दोस्तों, काल, time, समय भी एक flight के समान है. Time is like a flight as well. It takes us from destination A to destination B. Destination A, the 1st of January 2021. Destination point B is the 31st of December 2021. We are covering a time distance between the 1st of Jan 2021 to the 31st of December 2021. In between, 365 days, 52 weeks, 12 months have gone by. And guess what? There are 7 billion people on planet Earth. And all 7 billion people on planet Earth have the exact same number of days in 2021 and every year. The time we have is exactly the same. The months we have is exactly the same. The days we have is exactly the same. The weeks we have is exactly the same. But the experience each one of us has of this time is entirely different. 2021, for everybody on planet Earth, 7 billion people, has given the exact same treatment in one sense. We had the pandemic, we had Omicron, and there's so many other things that are happening politically, socially. There's so much going on, and more or less it's similar to all of us. But how 2021 has been for each one of us, the experience of the last year for each one of us is entirely different. For some of us, it's been a fantastic year. For some of us, it's not been such a fantastic year. For some of us, it's been an exciting year. For some of us, it's been not such an exciting year. Some of us have become more confident in the last 12 months. Some of us have become less confident and have lost our confidence. Some of us probably made a relationship and are now getting married. Some of us probably are breaking apart because the relationship has fallen apart. Some of us have worked on our health and have become fitter and healthier. Some of us haven't paid attention to our health and our well-being, and probably not doing that well. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is an objective element to time. The objective element to time is fixed for the 7 billion people on planet Earth. 12 months, 365 days. And there's a subjective side of the time. And the subjective side of the time is in those 12 months, what has been my experience? And the subjective side of time is 7 billion people, 7 billion different experiences. हालांकि समय 12 महीने ही और ऑब्जेक्टिव है, लेकिन समय का जो अनुभव है, जो हम समय को महसूस करते हैं, वक्त को महसूस करते हैं, वो 7 बिलियन लोगों के लिए अलग अलग है. And although we cannot change the 12 months and we cannot change the objective side of time, we can definitely change the subjective side of time, our experience of those 12 months. 12 महीने में हमारा अनुभव कैसे रहा है. And therefore, I often say that every single day in our bank account in life, there are, assuming you have a bank account, and every single day there are $86,400 that are deposited in your bank account. But there's a condition. Those $86,400 are available only for those 24 hours, one day. And after that one day is over, those $86,400 are nullified. You can't carry forward those $86,400 to the next day. अगर आपके अकाउंट में $86,400 रोज के डिपॉजिट हो रहे हैं और अगले दिन कैरी फॉरवर्ड नहीं होता, तो उन 24 घंटों में ही आपको उन $86,400 को सही तरीके से यूज करना है. You have to use those $86,400 in that one day. Wouldn't you be prudent? Wouldn't you be cautious? Wouldn't you be careful to make sure that you spend that money properly? Every single day in our life, 86,400 seconds are invested. 24 hours is nothing but 86,400 seconds. हर रोज हमारे लाइफ के अकाउंट में 86,400 सेकंड इन्वेस्ट होते हैं, मिलते हैं हमको. Now the question is, how do we utilize those 86,400 seconds? They're not going to be carried forward to the next day. One moment loss is lost forever. $1 in this account loss is lost forever. You cannot bring it back. And therefore, it is so crucial and so important that we learn to utilize our time properly. In fact, I often say, I prefer not to use the word spend time. I would rather say invest time. Because when we invest, there is a return. When we spend, usually we have the connotation that it is gone. And therefore, it's important that we invest these $86,400 daily. जब इन 86,400 सेकंड को हम रोज सही तरीके से इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, तो उसका रिटर्न भी प्रीमियम आएगा. And what should we invest them in? We should invest them in our physical well-being. हमारे शारीरिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए हमको उसको इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. We should invest them in our mental well-being, to make sure that our mind is focused, our mind is stable, our mind is not depressed, our mind is not negative. We should invest it in our emotional well-being, to make sure that we are investing enough time in our relationships with people, in our relationships with our family, in our relationship with our friends, in our relationship with ourselves. We should invest our time in our professional well-being, to see that we are doing well professionally. Every single day we are a better version of ourselves professionally as well. And we should invest our time in our spiritual well-being. When we invest our time in our spiritual well-being, that gives us a holistic sense, a complete sense of development. And therefore, my first principle of reminiscing 2021 is, अगर हम 2021 को याद करें, तो एक कई कॉमन चीजें हुई है जो हम याद कर सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर हम 2021 को पर्सनली याद करें, तो हम याद कर सकते हैं कि हमारी जर्नी कैसे रही है. क्या हमने अपने फिजिकल वेलबींग को समय दिया 2021 में? क्या हमने अपने स्पिरिचुअल वेलबींग को, इमोशनल वेलबींग को, प्रोफेशनल वेलबींग को, मेंटल वेलबींग को समय दिया? And at the end of the day, being well is extremely important. Experiencing a holistic sense of wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and professionally is what success is all about, ladies and gentlemen. And therefore, my first principle for this evening in reminiscing 2021 is recollect for yourself. How did you invest your time? Did you invest your time well? Did you invest your $86,400 or seconds every day properly? If not, no problem at all. No problem at all. There's always a scope to change. There's always a scope to transform. There's always the scope to turn the tables over. So आज की पहली चीज को आप ध्यान रखें और याद रखें. Number one, time is subjective and time is objective. Objectively, we all have 12 months. Subjectively, the experience of that 12 months has been different for all of us. And number two, remember to invest your time properly. Whether or not we have done it well in 2021, we can always do it properly in the year to come, which is 2022. I will come back to my point number two for reminiscing 2021 very soon. But before that, a couple of shout outs. Anisha Roy, Hare Krishna, Pramila, Vaibhav Ajmera, Nikita Guttukumar, Aryan Sharma, Krupa Phalke, Shutosh Sonkar, and Akash Tiwari. So happy that you are here with us this evening. Anmol More, thank you very much that you joined us as well. Okay, the speed has started. I don't know how to say this name. Mayank Gupta, and okay, I can't keep up in reading these names, but thank you all so much for being with us this evening again. And I'm so glad that you've taken your time to join us for this YouTube live session entitled Reminiscing the Year 2021. Stay with us till the end of the session, and hopefully, this session will help you in redefining how you want to be in the year to come, 2022. Here's my second principle for today. I remember we had gone to Mauritius, and when we were in Mauritius, my team was also with me. And after I did my talk, the host said, would you like to go around in Mauritius? Okay, we can go around. We went to a couple of places. We went to the ocean. We went underneath the ocean. Not scuba diving. We went like 20, 30 feet under the ocean, fed fish under the surface of the water. One place we went to was called the Kasela Adventure Park. And there our host said, would you like to walk with lions? I said, yeah, I'm extremely excited to walk with lions. The first step of walking with lions was we had to sign a declaration form. And in a declaration form, you have to write that if the lions, you have to read the clause which says, if the lions pounce on you and kill you, it is completely your responsibility. You sign a form saying, अगर आपको lion मार देगा और खा जाएगा, वो park की responsibility जिम्मेदारी नहीं हो, आपकी खुद की responsibility. So the guys who were with me, they were like looking at me, करना है क्या? I said, करना है क्या मतलब क्या? मुझे तो करना है, आपको आना है, नहीं आना है, बताओ. I don't have a problem if you don't come. Poor fellows, they thought we will go. He's going, let's join him as well. And then they told us something very interesting. They said, they gave us each a stick in our hands. And they said, जब तक ये लकड़ी आपके हाथ में, तब तक ये लायन आपको कुछ नहीं करेगा. लकड़ी से क्या होगा? So अगर लकड़ी गिर गया आपके हाथ से, that lion can pounce on you and eat you. That's not our problem. So make sure you hold the stick tight and strong in your hands. And they told us the lions were brought up with this. They came to this park as cubs, and they were brought up with this idea that whoever holds a stick in their hands, that's a sign of respect towards them. So they won't harm you if you have a stick in your hands. So my team was looking at me. Lakadi theek se pakadna. So we were all holding this sticks in our hands, and we were walking. And then you must have seen the video on YouTube. This is the video that I've done on walking with the lions. I'm holding the tails of two lions and walking. It was fun, holding the tails of lions and patting those lions. The guy was saying, "Thoda जोर से मारो, इनको चमड़ा मोटा है, लगता नहीं उनको. Hit them hard, and that's when they'll feel that you are even doing something to them, patting them. So as we were walking, I saw a very interesting thing, which in Sanskrit is called Simhavalokana. Simhavalokana means the glance of a lion. When the lion walks ahead, what the lion does is occasionally it turns behind. वो लायन ऐसा पीछे मुड़ के देखता है. जानता है क्यों पीछे मुड़ के देखता है? पीछे मुड़ के इसलिए देखता है क्योंकि देखता है कि मैं कितना दूर आया हूं या मैं कितनी दूर आई हूं. The lion turns behind and gets an estimate of how far it has come from where it started. The lion turns behind and sees what all were the hurdles, what all were the obstacles that it crossed over to come to reach where it is today. And it's incredible. The lion looks behind and says, okay, I reached here. And then the lion has its eyes in the front to see where it has to go now, how much more distance to cover, what are the hurdles to come on the path, what all the lion has to overcome to reach where it has to reach. This principle is called Simhavalokana. When I saw that in Mauritius, I said, this is such a fantastic thing to apply in human life as well. It's such a powerful principle. That when we are moving on in our life, we need to look back into the past. The past is not a place of residence. The past is a place of reference. Past is not a place where we should be staying. Past is a place where we should be visiting. We have to be a visitor in our past, not a resident of the past. And when we look into the past, we can always look at what went right for us and celebrate those small victories or those big victories. Like the lion, when it walks ahead and looks behind, this is how much distance it has covered. This is how many hurdles it has overcome. These are victories to the lion, and there is celebration. In the year 2021, when you look behind, you may have your small victories or your big victories. You may see that something went right for you. You may see that something went incredibly good for you. Some of you, probably your relationship has clicked very well and you're probably about to get married. Some of you, the bonding of your affection and love for each other in your relationship has gone deeper. For some of you, you probably made a good profit in the last year. For some of you, you probably got a fantastic job in the last year. For some of you, you probably cleared your academics and got an admission in IIT Mumbai or in IIT Kanpur or in IIT Kharagpur if you appeared for JEE. It's incredible to look back and celebrate what went good. Learn what went right. And if we learn from what's went right and what's gone right for us, we can always repeat it from now on in the year 2022 as well. We can improvise it. We can enhance it. We can change the quality of it positively. And guess what? We only add value to what we are doing. And therefore, like the lion, it's so important for us to turn behind. Look back and reminiscing 2021. पीछे देखिए और याद कीजिए क्या क्या सही किया. What all went right in the last year? Can I learn from what all went right and invest my time, my energy, my attention in doing that again in 2022? जो भी सही हुआ है पिछले साल में उसको फिर से दोहराया जा सकता है. And if we can repeat it, and if we can again do it, it's only going to add value to what we are doing. Yes. There is celebration. But along with celebration, ladies and gentlemen, there must also be deliberation. And what is the deliberation? Deliberation and looking behind in 2021 is, what could have gone wrong? क्या गलतियां हुई मुझसे? What mistakes did I make? What could I have done better to be a better person? What could I have done better to be a better husband, a better wife, a better boyfriend, a better girlfriend, a better spouse, a better employee, a better businessman, a better friend, a better me? What could I have done better for making my work better, for making my study better? What could I have done better to keep my mental fitness and my mental wellness in place? What could I have done better to lead a better and a happier life? Yes, celebration for the victory as the lion comes ahead, overcome so many hurdles to come where it is. Along with that celebration, there is deliberation. गलतियां सबसे होती है और मैं कई बार कहता हूं ना, भूल होना प्रकृति है, मान लेना संस्कृति है और सुधार लेना प्रगति है. Making a mistake is a part of our nature. Accepting that mistake is a part of an evolved culture. And rectifying that mistake is the hope for a promising future. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, like the lion, Simbhavalokanam, it's important to look back into 2021 to see what went right, celebrate that, and bring it into 2022 in a better way for a better life. And reminiscing 2021 means to look back into the past and see what went wrong, what could have been done better, and work on that and try and redefine, rectify the mistakes that happened in the last year in a way that we can craft and shape a better 2022. And therefore, don't they say the windshield of a car is always much larger than a rear view mirror? In the rear view mirror, you will reminisce and look at 2021. चला गया वो, देखना चाहिए पीछे, वो rear view mirror से थोड़ा पीछे देखना चाहिए, लायन के जैसे पीछे देखना चाहिए, रेमिनिस करना चाहिए, सेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए जो अच्छा हुआ और डेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए जो अच्छा नहीं हुआ और उसको कैसे सुधारा जा सकता है. But the windshield of the car is much larger. The future to come is yours. What is about to come from today on is yours. And you are the architect of your life. You're the architect of your success. You're the architect of your happiness. You're the architect of your relationship. You are the one who's going to make your life, your relationships, your career, your profession the way you want it to be. Nobody else is responsible to make your life the dream life that you've always wanted. You are the one who's responsible. And therefore, my principle number 2 is reflect. When you reminisce 2021, reflect. Look at what went right. Look at what went wrong. Whatever went right, repeat it. Whatever went wrong, rectify it. Balance celebration with deliberation. Simply celebration without deliberation is reckless enjoyment. And simply deliberation without celebration is stressful analysis. We must have celebration of our victories and deliberations on our failures. And the balance of that is what reminiscing 2021 is all about. And here's my last principle for this evening. Thank you, Krupa Phalke, Debajani Patnaik, Dhananjay Das, Pitambar Bua, Dhirendra Shekhawat. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Pooja Jaiswal, Hare Krishna, Yash Kumar Hivle, Mohit Chauhan, and Neeru, and Yogi Adityanath. There's somebody called Yogi Adityanath, whoever's channel's name is that. I'm sure is not the Chief Minister of UP, but I did see the name up here. Shubhrajit, Clinton, Nishant, Akash Tiwari. Yes, thank you all very, very much. Mr. Mayur Patil, Nitesh Kumar, Kshitij, thank you so much for staying with us for this live session. Here's the conclusive and the last principle for reminiscing 2021 and the year to how to enter into 2022, the year to come. There were 5 frogs who were sitting on a stone. 4 of them decided to jump down. How many remained on the stone? Most people say 5 में से 4 गए तो 1 बचा ना. No, 5 were there still on the stone because 4 only decided to jump. They didn't jump. Deciding to jump and jumping are 2 different things. Deciding to change our life and changing our life are 2 different things. Deciding to lose weight and actually exercising and controlling our diet to lose weight are 2 different things. Deciding to stay stress-free and mentally peaceful and actually cutting down those unnecessary things on social media and unnecessary interactions which cause mental stress are two different things. Deciding to improve in your career and to actually take those steps by studying what is required, doing the research what is required, improving your skill to actually change and get better are two different things. Deciding to improve your relationships and actually improving your relationships by taking those small steps, consistent steps, and making that investment in our relationship are two different things. Deciding to change and changing are two different things. Step one is to at least decide, but step two is to take action to change and transform. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very crucial and important that we take action. बिना एक्शन के केवल सपने होते हैं सब कुछ, बस सपने रह जाएंगे, इच्छाएं रह जाएंगी, desires, dreams, and those hopes that I'll change, I'll transform. I want all of you to identify in this year 2021, as you reminisce 2021, what went wrong for you, like that lion looking behind, and what are those actionable steps that you're going to take that you don't repeat that in 2022. Whether it's your fitness, your spirituality, your relationship, your work, your career, your studies, whatever it is. If you don't decide to act, 2022 is not going to be any different for you. The same 1st of Jan till the 31st of December, 365 days will go by. Objectively, the time has gone by, and subjectively, your experience will still be that of frustration on the 31st of December. ये साल निकल गया और कुछ हो नहीं पाया, है ना? और इसीलिए एक्शन की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत होती है. And you know what? We are in a very good space right now, because today is the 13th of December. And if it's the 13th of December today, is that 13th of December, right? And on the 13th of December today, you still have 18 days till the 1st of January. And whatever it is that you want to change, you can begin from today. ऐसा नहीं सोचना है कि आज करे सो कल कर, कल करे सो परसों, अभी इतनी जल्दी क्या है जब अब पड़े बरसों, right? We have to think कल करे सो आज कर, आज करे सो अभी, पल में प्रलय हो जाएगा, भोरी करेगा कभी. Right? Just start the process today. Like, I have a friend of mine who's put on so much weight, and I've been telling him go to the gym, and he says from the 1st of December. What makes you even think that from the 1st of December you will be adapted and used to going to the gym? What if for this 18 days before the 1st of December you start going to the gym, even if it's a little bit? You're already in the process from the 1st of January. From the 1st of January already. You still have 17, 18 days to go till the 1st of January 2022. Therefore, identify what it is that you want to change. Take those small actionable steps towards that change and take those steps today. That is when reminiscing 2021 will be of some value. Otherwise, 31st को frustration होगा, 1st Jan को बोलेंगे बदलेंगे, 31st December 2020 को वही कहानी repeat होगी दोस्तों. कोई कहानी बदलने वाली है नहीं. And therefore, when we are discussing, reminiscing the year 2021, remember these three principles. Number one, time is subjective and objective. Objectively, 7 billion people have the same 365 days. Subjectively, 7 billion people have 7 billion experiences of those 365 days. And if you want to change your experience, invest your 86,400 seconds that you get daily prudently in your well-being. If you invest that time properly, that is when your year 2022 will be fine. Number two, reflect like that lion, Simhavalokanam. Look back into the past in that rear view mirror. Know that the windshield is much larger and you must focus into the future, but reflect into the past and see what it is that you can learn from the past. The right things, celebrate and repeat. The wrong things that may have gone, deliberate and rectify. And third, last but not the least, when 4 frogs out of the 5 frogs decide to jump off the rock, there's still 5 because they only decided, they didn't actually jump. Action is extremely important. We have to take the small steps towards a large change And we don't need to start on the 1st of January 2022. We can start on the 13th of December 2021, because from the 13th of December 2021 until the 31st of December 2021, which is 18 days, is out of the 21 days that are required to start and change a habit. We need 21 days to form a habit. So by the time you're on the 1st of January 2022, it's 18 days out of the 21 days that are required to form a habit or change a habit that have already been that have already gone, and we are in a better position, in a better space to maintain that habit into the year 2022 as well. So I wish all of you all the very best for the next 18 days. And hopefully the 1st of Jan 2022 will be a much brighter 2022 for all of us. My prayers, my best wishes are with all of you, and I'll hopefully join you on the new year to wish you a happy new year as well, and do another live session with all of you. Until then, stay safe, stay well, stay happy. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you all very much. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you.